Mary Magdalene remains one of the most intriguing and misunderstood figures in biblical history. Often overshadowed by misconceptions and deliberate distortions, her true significance has been obscured, leaving behind a legacy that is both compelling and controversial. This exploration seeks to unveil the hidden truths of Mary Magdalene, a woman whose real story challenges the established narratives and reveals a deeper, more profound legacy that has been suppressed for centuries. Traditional Christian narratives have long confused and misrepresented Mary Magdalene. Often mistakenly identified as a penitent prostitute, this portrayal is not derived from the Gospels but rather from a number of mistakes and willful misinterpretations made by early church leaders. As it is, the canonical Gospels present Mary as a committed disciple of Jesus, one who was delivered from 7 demons. This portrayal is more indicative of a spiritual metamorphosis than of any particular transgression. Although she plays a significant role, her identity has been confused with other biblical women, creating a persistent yet false perception that undervalues her actual importance. Mary Magdalene emerges from the biblical texts not merely as a peripheral figure, but as someone integral to Jesus' ministry. She is present at critical moments, including at the foot of the cross and at the tomb, where she becomes the first to witness the resurrected Christ. This position alone suggests a status of profound importance, as she is not only a witness to the pivotal event of Christianity, but is also tasked with announcing the resurrection to the apostles. Her enigmatic presence, both crucial and yet often misunderstood, reflects a legacy that has been systematically undervalued in religious history. Far beyond the simplistic labels, Mary Magdalene stands as a true disciple of Jesus, distinguished by her unwavering loyalty and deep spiritual insight. Unlike the male disciples who fled during the crucifixion, Mary remained, demonstrating a courage and fidelity that set her apart. Her role as the first witness to the resurrection and her subsequent mission to inform the apostles have earned her the title Apostle to the Apostles, underscoring her significance in the early Christian community. But the institutional church has not always fully accepted this acknowledgement. Gender prejudices, early church politics, and the need to preserve a certain level of narrative control are some of the intricate causes of this. A re-evaluation of leadership and discipleship in the early Christian movement is encouraged by the multiple non-canonical texts that point to Mary's leadership role among the disciples, challenging established hierarchies. She is positioned as a significant figure whose contributions go well beyond the stereotype of a passive follower because of her vision, steadfastness, and deep knowledge of Jesus' teachings. One of the more dramatic instances of how powerful people have influenced religious history is the hiding of Mary Magdalene's actual legacy. A very different view of her function can be seen in the gnostic document known as the Gospel of Mary, which was found in the late 1800s. Mary is portrayed as a key character in this narrative, sharing deep spiritual insights with the other disciples and receiving unique revelations from Jesus. Her teachings stress an intimate, direct relationship with God, which contrasted with the then emerging Orthodox ideas that placed more emphasis on external authority and hierarchical systems. This text also reveals tension between Mary and other disciples, particularly Peter, who questions her authority and the validity of her revelations. This conflict reflects the broader struggle within the early church to define orthodoxy and the role of women in spiritual leadership. Mary's prominence in these non-canonical writings suggests that her influence was significant, yet deliberately minimized as the church sought to consolidate power and establish a uniform doctrine. The deliberate marginalization of Mary Magdalene's contributions is emblematic of a broader effort to suppress the voices of female leaders and to downplay the diversity of early Christian thought. Mary Magdalene's story is deeply intertwined with the concept of the sacred feminine, a spiritual archetype representing wisdom, nurturing, and a profound connection to the divine. In many ancient cultures, the feminine aspect of the divine was revered, and this balance was reflected in early Christian traditions as well. Mary Magdalene embodies this lost dimension of spirituality, serving as a bridge between the human and the divine, the earthly and the mystical. Reclaiming Mary Magdalene's true role is therefore an act of restoring this lost balance. It challenges the prevailing narratives that have long excluded or minimized female spiritual authority, and it opens the door to a more inclusive understanding of Christian spirituality, one that honors both the masculine and feminine aspects of the divine. Mary Magdalene's story invites a re-evaluation of how we understand the divine, offering a richer, more holistic vision of spirituality that resonates deeply in today's world. Scholars and the general public are equally captivated by the debates and counter-arguments that surround Mary Magdalene's story. One of the most contentious theories is the idea that Mary and Jesus were married. This argument is supported by cultural interpretations and literary discrepancies, but lacks concrete historical evidence. These theories cause debate within religious discourse by challenging conventional wisdom and raising concerns about the nature of their relationship. Beyond the question of marriage, Mary Magdalene's role as a spiritual leader remains a point of contention. The Gnostic texts portray her as possessing profound spiritual insights, often surpassing those of the male disciples. This depiction raises questions about the early church's reluctance to acknowledge her as a legitimate spiritual authority. Was Mary Magdalene's legacy intentionally suppressed to reinforce a male-dominated hierarchy, or was it simply a casualty of the broader conflicts within early Christianity? Modern discoveries, such as the Nag Hammadi library and other apocryphal writings, have revitalized interest in Mary Magdalene and her potential contributions to Christian thought. These texts offer glimpses into a more diverse and dynamic early Christian landscape, where multiple interpretations and teachings coexisted. As these hidden narratives continue to emerge, they challenge the established doctrines and invite a more nuanced understanding of Mary Magdalene's place in religious history. The rediscovery of Mary Magdalene's true story holds profound implications for contemporary faith and spirituality. As a figure of resilience, wisdom, and unrecognized leadership, Mary Magdalene serves as a powerful example of how the contributions of women have been historically overlooked. Her story resonates particularly in today's context, where there is a growing call for inclusivity and recognition of diverse voices within spiritual traditions. Through direct heavenly connection and personal spiritual understanding rather than external validation, Mary Magdalene's legacy provides a framework for examining themes of redemption and transformation. The experience of discovering and reclaiming one's real identity and purpose is reflected in her journey from a misunderstood figure to a crucial, albeit obscure, pillar of early Christianity. A spirituality that honors the sacred feminine and welcomes the whole range of human experience is what Mary Magdalene represents to many as the possibility of a more wide and inclusive spirituality. Her experience calls into question the traditional accounts that have long shaped religious history and forces us to consider what it means to be a leader, a follower, and a truth seeker in greater detail. We pay tribute to her memory and deepen our understanding of spirituality in a way that is eternal and incredibly relevant by revealing her genuine legacy. Mary Magdalene's legacy is a testament to the complexities of religious history and the forces that have shaped our understanding of spiritual authority. Far from the simplistic image of a penitent sinner, she was a devoted disciple, a visionary, and a leader whose true story was obscured by the prevailing power structures of her time. By uncovering the hidden truths about Mary Magdalene, we not only reclaim a lost piece of history, but also restore a critical voice that challenges us to rethink the narratives we have long accepted. The moral of her narrative is to cherish every voice on the spiritual path, including the ones who have been ignored or marginalized. It encourages us to accept a more impartial and inclusive understanding of the divine and to investigate the deeper facets of our faith. We embrace the eternal power of truth and the significance of revisiting and reinterpreting the stories that define our spiritual inheritance by recovering Mary Magdalene's position in history.